All right, let's get straight to it. What are the best cities to live in based on cost of living? This breakdown is brought to you by Real Estate Rank IQ, and we've got all the data you need.
Are you feeling the squeeze? You know what I'm talking about. Those crushing bills, rents that keep climbing, and prices on everything that just won't budge? It can make your next move feel like a huge gamble. Well, we're here to cut right through all that noise.
Okay, so here's the key to everything we're about to talk about. It all boils down to one simple number, the cost of living or COL index. Just think of it like a price tag for a city. A score of 100 is the national average. Any number below 100, that means it's cheaper. Your dollar just goes further on housing, groceries, you name it. Got it? Good.
So let's look at the big picture. Here's our top 10 shortlist. As you can see, every single one of these cities clocks in well below that 100-point national average. You've got El Paso leading the charge with an index around 82. That's a whopping 18% cheaper than the typical US city. And even the city rounding out our list, Grand Rapids, is still a solid 5% cheaper. Big savings all around.
All right, time to zoom in. We're going to do a rapid-fire data reveal for our top 10 contenders. Let's go.
Kicking things off, we have our top-tier value cities. First, El Paso, Texas. Its cost of living is just under 82, which is incredible, and it's backed by a really solid economy, thanks to the military and international trade. Then you've got Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's a major hub for academics and medicine, and get this, the typical home value is only around $257,000.
Now let's head to the heartland for two Midwest powerhouses. Oklahoma City is super pro-business, and the typical home value? Just $216,000. Seriously. Then you have Des Moines, Iowa. It's a big player in finance and insurance, which keeps the economy humming. Home values around $235K, and you can find rents but actually dip below $1,000 a month. Pretty amazing.
Okay, for this next pair, we're talking about low taxes and high growth. First, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And here's the kicker, no state income tax. That makes their median household income of $75,000 feel even bigger. Right next door is Omaha, Nebraska. We're talking fortune-level companies here. And fun fact, the city hit a historic low for crime in 2024. Let's look at a couple of mountain and metro deals. You've got Knoxville, Tennessee, right at the doorstep of the Great Smoky Mountains. And hey, another tax benefit, no state tax on wage income. But for all you investors watching, pay close attention to Pittsburgh. The typical home is just $236,000. And listen to this, buyers there spend the lowest percentage of their income on housing compared to any other major US metro. That is a huge deal.
All right, let's round out our top 10 with a couple of specialized tech and creative hubs. First up is Huntsville, Alabama, also known as Rocket City. This place is a powerhouse. You've got high-paying jobs in aerospace and defense, pushing the median income to around $71K, but the housing costs are still totally manageable. Then, if you're looking for a more creative scene, check out Grand Rapids, Michigan. It's got this awesome small business energy, you're right next to Lake Michigan for weekend trips, and the cost of living is still below the national average.
But wait, we're not done yet. The top 10 is fantastic, but we've got 3 more honorable mentions that absolutely need to be on your radar, especially if you're a savvy investor.
Okay, rapid fire again. Greensboro, North Carolina. It's one of the most affordable spots you'll find in the Carolinas. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Typical homes are under $213K, and you can find rent for less than $900 a month. Wow. And then there's San Antonio, which gives you all the perks of a big Texas city, but with home values hovering around just $251K.
All right, so we've thrown a ton of data at you, but what does it all mean? Let's switch gears and talk strategy. Depending on what you're trying to achieve, which of these cities is the right play for you?
So let's say you're trying to stretch a starter home budget. For you, the absolute best bets are going to be El Paso, Winston-Salem, Des Moines, and Oklahoma City. The entry prices in these 4 cities are so low that it makes getting that first home or your first investment property way more realistic.
What if your strategy is to rent first and save up a down payment? Okay, then you're going to want to focus on Sioux Falls, Omaha, and Huntsville. In these 3 cities, the rents are super reasonable compared to what people are earning. That means you can actually stash away cash and build up that down payment way faster. And what if your number one goal is just to maximize your paycheck? You want to know where your salary goes the furthest, right? Well, for the best combo of strong incomes and fair housing costs, the data is crystal clear. Look at Huntsville, Pittsburgh, and Omaha. Your income to housing ratio in these places is just fantastic. Okay, I know you've probably got some questions bubbling up, so let's get into a quick FAQ section to make all of this super practical.
First question, what's actually a good cost of living number anyway?
Here's a really simple rule of thumb for you. Anything under 95 and you're gonna feel the difference. It's noticeably cheaper. If you see a score under 90, that is a major green flag for affordability. But, and this is crucial, you've always got to look at that number next to local salary data. A cheap city doesn't help if the pay is also super low.
All right, the million-dollar question, or maybe the $200,000 question in these cities. Is it smarter to rent or buy right now?
Well, there's no single answer. It really depends on the city. Take Pittsburgh, for example. The numbers there are screaming buy because the mortgage payment to income ratios are so low. But then you look at places like Omaha and Huntsville, where the rents are so fair that renting is a great strategic move. You can live comfortably while you save up for a down payment without feeling pressured.
And this one is so important. How do you figure out how safe a place really is, beyond just looking at the citywide crime stats?
The trick is, you have to go local. Think of those big citywide numbers as just a starting point. You need to dig deeper. Use local police department incident maps, check out neighborhood-specific crime logs. That's how you see what's happening street by street. And just for some perspective, it's good to know that on a national level, violent crime has actually been on the decline for the last 2 years.
So, what should you do with all this info? Here's your simple two-step action plan. Step 1, pick 2 or 3 cities from this list that really speak to your goals. Step 2, before you do anything else, build a detailed monthly budget and start digging into that neighborhood-level data. Get the real story before you even think about touring.
Subscribe for more insights.